Let me talk to you. We are on the road to WrestleMania, but before we get there, we have one pit stop, that being the Elimination Chamber. But who punched their ticket to WrestleMania? Your Elimination Chamber review starts now. Elimination Chamber. We have the Elimination Chamber match first.
The
And
women's
it's the
elimination.
women's.
Yeah.
Yes, the women's elimination match. We have Carmella, Rochelle Rodriguez.
Liv
I'm sorry.
Morgan, Asuka, Natalia, and Nikki Cross.
Yeah, and it's Raquel Rodriguez.
Who
Sorry.
cares? Fuck her.
Um. So we started the match with, because I'm sure you didn't watch it. We
No, I did
started the
actually.
match with
I watched it.
Liv and Natty. Oh, you did?
Yeah, we started off with Liv and Natty, Nikki. What I didn't like is starting off, each one entered the ring, and then whoever was in the pod, the one that wasn't in the pod, they'd slap the glass. That shit got really old, real quick.
Yeah, they all did the whole circle the pods and do the stare down thing.
And the elimination chamber doesn't look intimidating anymore.
I was I was put off by the cameras,
Yeah, I was put
like the
off by the
camera
pods.
angles. It seems like in the men's match they had better camera angles,
I guess.
but for the women's match, like they were shooting it like between the fence post or between the gap of the fence
Yeah.
and like through the pot. I don't know. It's just they just didn't have good angles. Uh, and once I got used to it at the like mid match, it seemed like it got better. I don't know.
Yeah, the pods look like it looks like McDonald's playhouse equipment versus like what the elimination chamber used to look like. It doesn't look like the most intimidating or brutal structure.
Well, they have it now because I guess because of the whole sound effect that it makes.
Hell, the outside of the ring, it's not metal anymore. Remember when it was just this great thing?
It wasn't metal. What is it?
I don't think so. I don't know. It didn't look like it was metal. I could be wrong on that. It looked like it was just a extension of the ring.
Oh, I guess I didn't pay that close attention to it.
Yeah, maybe I didn't either. I know it's black.
We can agree on that.
Yeah. So yeah, Liv Morgan and Natalia started. Natalia looks like the cat lady from Nip Tuck. If anybody knows, you know. If you don't, look it up. Um, yeah, it it was a match.
hmm
I
Does it?
think. Yeah, I mean, it was a match. It was pretty good. It was better than I thought it would be. It was better than the men's pod match. I thought.
Yeah.
I can't stand Nikki Cross, and fortunately, she was the first one eliminated. She was thrown through a pod by Raquel Rodriguez, and then Rodriguez pulled her back into the ring and pinned her. Liv Morgan, God, fucking hate her too. Um, she was taken out by Natalia's sharpshooter and the Rings of Saturn by Asuka. And of course, instead of tapping out, she had to pass out because she's a badass.
Oh, and she was smiling too
Yeah,
because she
because
loves pain.
she's a badass.
But I will say, her and that sharpshooter, you know, The cheeks were out, so I did appreciate that.
Okay.
You gotta give her that credit. The cheeks are there.
She's not hard on the eyes. It's just unfortunately the rest of it is
That's what makes it so unbelievable that that she's like this hardcore legend.
right.
It's like, look at you. You don't even have a cut on your face.
Right. Not one scar.
Like you're not missing any teeth.
No. You don't even look like you've hit a wall, let alone a person.
Yeah.
Natalia was the next one eliminated. I didn't see what happened to her though, or I don't remember.
Natalia. Actually, I missed it too because it happened really quick. But Carmella, she had Asuka and a sharpshooter, and I think Carmella like super kicked her in the back of the head or something.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I missed it too because it happened like right after the live thing, so I was writing.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so Natalia was next, and then um, Raquel Rodriguez was eliminated after that. She got kicked the shit out of by both Carmella and Asuka. Carmella was super kicking her a bunch, and Asuka was ninja kicking her. And of course, they both had to pin her because she's quote unquote strong. And I love how she came out and then she did the little back pose. And as much as I hate Rhea Ripley, she's got the back. If anybody should be doing that back pose, it's her. Raquel Rodriguez is a joke. She was barely bigger than that little tiny referee that they had.
Mm.
Just on the side. So after Rodriguez is pinned by both Asuka and Carmella because Rodriguez is so super duper strong, that leaves us with Carmella and Asuka. Now, I was really nervous actually, and the only reason I watched this from start to finish is because I watched it for Asuka. So they had a little back and forth of near falls where they're both trying to pin each other, and you think Carmella is just gonna weasel her way out of it, and then finally Asuka gets her in the rings of Saturn, and Carmella taps out. So Liv Morgan should learn how to fucking do that.
Yeah,
And
that's Asuka's new little finisher. Still don't know the name of it yet.
the rings of Saturn's her new finisher.
It's like a modified Rings of Saturn,
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I'm calling it.
but it doesn't look comfortable. I can tell you that.
No, sure doesn't.
Like she's
I thought,
she's like cranking your arm like a gear shift. I mean, the Rings of Saturn itself wasn't comfortable.
right.
I've put my share of people in the Rings of Saturn. I know it's not comfortable.
But yeah, I thought this might have been the best or the best match of the night for me. And I never thought I'd ever say that about a ladies match, but there you go. Even with Liv Morgan and what's her head, Cross.
Cross.
Yeah, Rodriguez is annoying, but at least she's athletic, and like I can hate Rodriguez on a different level. With Cross and Liv Morgan, I just don't want them on my television set. And I'm really concerned with how they're going to build Asuka against Belair. Like if they brought her, I don't know, if they made her just have little funky face paint now and be more dangerous and tenacious, just to have her to lose to Belair, that'd be kind of lame to me.
I don't think she's losing. I think she's gonna win.
I hope so.
Um, it is to note that Asuka is the first female to have won the Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, and Elimination Chamber.
Really?
So there is that stat. Yeah,
Hmm.
and both titles. I mean, she's pretty much won every title. She's done like everything in WWE. She's won the tag title. She's won the Raw title, the SmackDown title. She's won, like we just said, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and Money in the Bank. So she's won every little thing that they have that she can win.
It's kind of crazy that she's not um, celebrated more for that, I guess. You know how,
I'm sure
like,
they'll mention it on Raw.
yeah. Well, you know how Booker T or Ric Flair, like, 16-time world champion, that type of shit?
Yeah.
Like, you don't really see. They have her act like a fucking cartoon instead.
I'm sure they'll, like I said, I'm sure they'll bring it up on Raw.
Mm.
But they need to really start putting respect on her name because she's about to be their champion.
I hope so. That'd be nice, especially if she's a heel. Like, I don't know where they're going with the. They haven't really. I've noticed that they'll make a change, but they don't really follow up with it. They just like, oh, okay, well, this is different now, but they don't explain why or the motivation, or they don't build on it. It's just there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if she's a heel.
I don't either.
Maybe she is, but
She almost kind of has to
she's
be
getting,
though against Belair, wouldn't she?
no, I think she gets cheered. If
Okay,
anything, maybe you turn Belair as the heel.
you think so?
Yeah. I mean, Asuka's so over with the fans.
Yeah,
I mean, look at her. She's got our most viewed video we have.
that's true.
Like, she's over. So I think they're gonna have to turn Bella heel for this.
Okay,
Um,
I'd rather
it's not a
Asuka be
bad
the
thing
heel.
because
You can have
yeah.
heel champions. You can cheer for a heel. Look at Roman.
Well, he won cheered tonight. Now come WrestleMania, I bet you he's gonna get some cheers.
I don't know.
I bet you the old school. I was watching. Just side note, has nothing to do with anything. But I was watching like old school wrestling, like 80s era stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, if something made me want to go back and look at like the Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant like story, and before it was Andre the Giant, it was Roddy Piper. He was he did WrestleMania 1 with Hulk Hogan,
Hmm.
and he
Well,
was talking
and
about how
he did a tag match with Piper and Orndorff, or was it Orton?
Orton,
And then was it Mr. T, the his tag partner?
Hogan's,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. So no, that was yeah, Orndorff.
Okay, so it was Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper, and they had a tag match.
Yeah,
And
against
then
Hogan and Mr.
WrestleMania
T.
2, I think it was Orndorff and Hogan. And then I think WrestleMania 3 was Andre. Did I fuck you up?
Yeah, but that's okay.
I could be wrong. I'm not saying. Let's check real quick.
Yeah, I think WrestleMania 1 was Piper, just
I
Piper,
know it was.
and
No,
then
it
WrestleMania 2 was the tag match.
no. WrestleMania 2 is when Piper boxed Mr. T. I'm pretty sure. No, I gotta fucking look now.
Well, anyway, I was looking at it, and yeah, Piper was like the biggest heel of the time
Mm-hmm.
when he was going to main event against Hulk Hogan, and I couldn't imagine him getting cheers. That's that's where I'm going with all that. Like back in the day when you were a heel, you were a heel. You were out there to. It was your job to not get cheered.
Right. It was your job to be hated. Hulk
Speaking
Hogan
of
and
which, they
Mr. T
really
with Jimmy Snuka defeated Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper with Bob Orton Jr. Uh,
at WrestleMania 1.
yeah, that was WrestleMania 1.
So when did
And
him and Hogan go one on one at a
who?
WrestleMania? Piper.
Um, yeah, let's find out.
Get your history notes out, people.
Oh, it was King Kong Bundy and Hogan. WrestleMania 2. I was wrong on that. I thought it was Orndorff. But he did. Hold on.
Or maybe I got my facts wrong.
Well,
I'll
your
just say
facts
I
are
did.
definitely wrong.
And now we're just educating.
Yeah, Mr. T with Joe Frazier defeated Roddy Piper with whoever the fuck that is. So yeah, they had a boxing match. So I know they wrestle.
So Piper never main evented a WrestleMania with Hogan.
I don't know. Hold on.
At Madison Square Garden.
Come on, you bastard.
I mean,
Orndorff boxing match. They had a hair versus hair match. Not Hogan. Well, WrestleMania 3 was, I believe that was Andre. Yeah. So, no.
okay. It wasn't. It would have been before WrestleMania 3. What I was thinking of. So
Okay.
didn't know. Okay. Well, there you go. Anyway, Piper wasn't getting cheered. Like he was doing whatever he could to be booed. Maybe. Yeah, we have to move on. We have to. Um, but I do say that the ladies they did bust their ass for this match. Even Nikki Cross, she did that spot where she dove off of the top of the chamber pod, and she really dove. She wasn't like trying to take care of herself. She like really flew off that thing. Um,
I I
but it
don't.
was a good.
I remember the ladies just standing at the bottom of the pod like idiots, waiting to catch her. So, and that
Well,
needs to
yeah, well, of course, but that's just what they do now. As you saw in the men's when Montez Ford was doing whatever he was doing, and they were just standing there for like minutes. They almost stood there for a whole minute while he was doing all that.
So, going back a little bit, Piper and Hogan.
A little bit.
They wrestled February 18th, 1985, and the event was called a War to Settle the Score.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Boy, that wasn't WrestleMania.
No.
That is the exact thing that I was talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's. I guess the thing was that kind of created the idea of WrestleMania. Like they saw how big that was,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Oh, I mean, this thing could really be successful. Let's try this." So made them try WrestleMania. So yeah, that's where I got confused there.
Well, the Andre storyline was really good too because they were friends,
Yeah,
and then Andre turned on him, and tore his cross.
Well, I mean, did Andre turn on him or did Hogan turn on him?
Andre turned on him.
Because Hogan was like a spotlight whore. Like
Hogan was
you gotta.
Hogan was the man. He was just giving people what they wanted. Andre couldn't handle it. With his
like
little, I gotta talk like this.
like you get the Hogan. They got the trophy. He got the big trophy for being the champion for 3 years, but on the other hand, you got Andre the Giant gets a little trophy for being undefeated for 15 years. Like, like here's your little trophy, brother.
Well, it's
Even though
not.
it wasn't his trophy, but
Yeah, I was gonna say.
he wasn't. He was kind of egging it on, though.
Yeah, I say so. Hogan, going back, you can kind of see why people would hate Hogan.
Yeah,
Not me though. He was the greatest.
and I don't even know why I was watching that that far back. Oh, yeah, something happened where I was like, I want to watch this story. I guess because of the Bloodline story's been so good,
Mm,
I wanted to go back and watch like the Andre the Giant because that we were a lot younger when that story came out or started,
right.
so we didn't really understand what was going on. So just to watch it as an adult,
So,
like for my remembrance of that was you have this big guy and Hogan slams him. Like that's all I remember of that whole thing.
well, I was a big fan of the. I think The Princess Bride is the greatest movie of all time, and I remember watching the shit out of that when I was younger. So I probably knew that before I knew about wrestling, and I knew about Andre the Giant because of that. So, um, I was very very familiar with, and of course Hulk Hogan. So Hulk Hogan versus the Fezzik, or not Fezzik, but the Giant from Princess Bride. Yeah, I was all over that shit. I knew all about his wrestling and had the little Raw where he was in it.
Hmm. Well,
So I was reading about how people are saying that the Bloodline is the greatest wrestling storyline of all time.
that's it. That's it. Thank you.
Okay,
Now you made me remember.
gotcha.
Like that's why I went to. That's why I started to go back and watch those. Like just look up a list of greatest storylines. That's where it got me into like, okay, let's start with Hogan and Andre. We'll revisit. This is just me.
Mm.
Revisit the NWO. There was another storyline that was on a lot of lists too. I was gonna go rewatch that story.
I mean, I think the NWO storyline beats it.
Beats the Bloodline.
Yeah,
It's tough.
I don't think
I
so.
don't know. I don't know if they do.
Yeah.
Just because, just because it ran way too long, and
Well, the Bloodline's not over
the
yet.
ending. Yeah, I mean, like if they're doing this like 2 years from now, then it would have ran way too long.
Well, they could do
And
it 2 years from now. They just have to do it right.
I think maybe you have one more year out of it.
Yeah, fair enough.
If, but, um, but yeah, that's long-term storytelling. That's like Hogan, Andre the Giant type stuff.
Well, I'm just
Hogan
saying, like,
Macho, Hogan Macho. The Hogan. Oh, go ahead.
well, the NWO storyline was also revolutionary.
It was.
That changed that not only changed how TV was done, but it also changed how they did business. There was all that tampering shit. There was two. It caused WWF to do the DX shit.
Hmm.
So I mean, the Bloodline hasn't really. It's
Well,
not
we're comparing the
revolutionary.
stories.
Isn't that what we're fucking what are, the greatest storyline of all time, right?
I know, but we're comparing the stories
Right.
to the Bloodline story to the
Uh-huh.
NWO story.
Yes.
Like,
And the NWO
the story
story,
has to have a beginning, middle, and end. So you got to take account into the end. And again, the
okay.
Bloodline, they're still in their stories. So we don't know how it ends, but that you got you got to see how it ends. You can't just have the beginning and that be the whole story.
I'd say I would contest that the beginning of the NWO is probably the best that better than the anything the Bloodlines come out with yet. Maybe the I didn't see Jay and Roman though. I don't know if does that count? Is that still Bloodline?
Well, that's what started it all.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
I would say that yeah, that first series of matches between Jay and Roman, that would be the start of the whole bloodline thing.
Okay. Yeah. So I didn't see that. So I might that might change my mind, but I don't know. Just you got top guys from a different company. This was back in the time when they never even acknowledged that there was other wrestling promotions. It came out in street clothes. Just started beating the shit out of everybody. You had cops with guns. Then you had the USA versus Canada shit that the Bret Hart did. That was great.
Hmm.
He made an entire country hate hate the company. I think that's better than the Bloodline.
Well, I guess that's all subjective.
Yeah, of course it is.
We have to go back and look
But
at these stories.
as you said multiple times though, the Bloodline storyline isn't done yet. So I guess it's not as unfair as it is to say it's the greatest storyline of all time. It's also unfair to say that something's better because this hasn't finished yet.
Yeah, and the amount of story that's being told here is, I, yeah. I mean, there's going to be a day where we have to, or at least I will, have to go back and watch the NWO thing again because I remember it starting off. It started off really hot,
Mm-hmm.
um, but then you got to a point where you know they had Wolfpack and
Yeah,
and the Latin NWO.
right.
So they were really
LWO and
stretching. Yeah, they were really BWO.
yeah,
And that wasn't really in
that was
WCW though. That
ECW.
was in
Yeah.
ECW, and it was a riff. But they're really stretching it when they're splitting it off into sections.
Well, I think it started going downhill after the whole Sting stuff.
Oh yeah, and he had weeks of Sting sitting in the Raptors.
Well, no, that was great. He never said anything. He was just watching. You never knew if he was is he WCW, is he NWO, is he still deciding? And then he came down and you still didn't know. And then he finally had that match with Hogan and he dethroned Hogan. And I think that they, if I remember correctly, they kind of botched the finish there though. And I kind of threw a wet blanket on everything. Oh shit, maybe. Huh. Huh.
I don't remember that, but
I do. I remember because I think I think Bret Hart was the special guest referee, and they basically did like a little bullshit Montreal screw job type thing where um, I think Sting got him in the Scorpion Deathlock, but I don't know, something fucky with the referee. And Bret's like, I'm not gonna stand for this.
Mhm. I remember I remember parts of that. Yeah, I remember Bret Hart
So
being a special guy. He had like a sleeveless shirt when he was special.
of course, or a hockey jersey
Yeah,
with shorts.
yeah, with his shorts.
Yeah, and his fanny pack.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah,
anyway,
everything up
we're
to
way off the
oh, sorry. Go ahead. Get
we're
us back
way
on
off the
track.
rails. Let's reel it
Yeah,
back
yeah.
here. These are conversations for a different day. So part two, we move on to Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. Um, if you want to call this a match,
I wouldn't.
I, like I said, this this is basically you're playing the video game and you just preload your match full of finishers, and then you just spend the rest of the time doing finishers on each other. This
Yeah,
is what this match was. There was just spears and F5s.
yeah. Lesnar starts off by suplexing Lashley a few times, and then Lashley spears Lesnar, and then Lesnar F5s Lashley, and then Lashley spears. I didn't spears Lesnar. I don't know why I said Edge.
You didn't.
My notes say Edge.
Oh.
Uh, Lashley spears Lesnar, and then he gets him in a or tries to get him in a hurt lock. No, no, no. He got him in the hurt lock, and then Lesnar kicks him in the dick for a DQ loss. And then Lesnar
Because he
F5's the
wasn't getting out of that hurt lock.
right. And then Lesnar F5's the ref. He F5's Lashley twice, and then he throws him through the table with an F5.
Yeah.
And I was really disappointed, actually.
Um, I wasn't. I knew it was gonna be. I knew what the match was gonna be.
I wasn't upset with that. I was upset with the fact that it was a disqualification finish. I think this is what the crown jewel match should have been.
Well, I don't think this is the last of it.
Clearly not.
I
But
think this goes over to WrestleMania, and then Bray already made his intentions known that he wants this. So now we're looking at what a triple threat match between the two,
uh,
three.
I I don't know. I'd be
But
I would be surprised if Brock agrees to a match with Bray Wyatt. If he won't
well,
wrestle Riddle for
so
God's sake.
you're either getting the triple threat or they're gonna run it back Brock versus Lashley at WrestleMania.
You don't think it's going to be Lashley and Wyatt?
No, they're
Okay.
clearly not done with this story,
Yeah, but they're clearly
and
okay
Brock's not
with
missing WrestleMania.
they're clearly okay with pausing it for a while though.
So where does Brock go?
I don't know.
I
That's
guess
to be determined.
I guess he just comes out and picks his like he doesn't need Brock doesn't need he just comes out and picks who he wants next.
I mean, maybe there's still hope for the Gunther thing.
I don't see it happening this year.
I just think the dick kick was a way to get Brock to lose without losing, so he doesn't have to fucking wrestle Bray Wyatt.
Well, his whole thing has been about his whole last few weeks has been about all I can think about is Bobby Lashley.
Right.
Like I can't get it out of my mind. I need to beat this guy.
Yep.
So, and then he does the low blow, so he still hadn't beat him.
Nope.
So now it's just turning into even more of an obsession. So he's
I'm
got
in
to get
bed.
this victory.
I'm in bed with my wife, and after about 5 or 6 hours, I'm still thinking about.
I know. I was like, could you imagine being Sable? Like, oh, not in the weird way, but oh, I'm sure that's gonna be clipped. But
Yep.
anyway, I'm saying in a like feel sorry for her way that she's got to get pounded for 5 hours. She, she can't walk after the week. She has to spend the week in bed rest.
At least a day.
Yeah,
Like she has to take the Monday to just lie in bed all day.
like if she had like a regular day job, she'd have to call in to work. Hey, we're gonna have sex tonight. Oh, let me tell my manager I'm not gonna be here tomorrow.
Yeah, I bet it's not. I bet it's not pretty. I bet it looks. I bet it looks like borderline assault.
Yeah, he's probably like, I see him as not like a take it slow kind of guy. It's just like his one of his matches, just like power punches the whole time. Just
Gets a running start from across the room.
yeah, like a Happy Gilmore's golf swing.
The worst part is you see how bad he sweats during his matches.
Oh, she's drenched.
Yeah, can you imagine getting violated with a jackhammer and then you got sweat pouring, some other person's sweat just pouring on your face?
And it's on her side of the bed, so she's got to sleep in it too.
Oh yeah, of course.
And he just rolls over. Hey, you got a little sweat on my side. Can can you fix it? Can you get a towel? There's a little bit of wetness on my side.
It feels a little misty.
Meanwhile, it's like it's like someone poured a cup of water on her side. Yeah,
So that was Lashley versus Lesnar.
yeah. I mean, you could also not clip it too, so
Oh, I'll clip it.
there's that. you know, just a quick funny note is Conan. He had this thing. It's one of the stories that we were gonna go over, but um, I can just talk about it here. So Conan, he had this thing on social media. You have this AEW guy. His name is Takeshita. He on one of the Dynamites, he did a frog splash, and Conan on his show made a stink about it. He said something to the effect of, "You're not Mexican. Why are you doing a frog splash? Like, stick to your own nationality."
Kevin Owens, Montez Ford.
Well, yeah. So he says this.
I think Dawkins does a frog splash too, doesn't he?
Well, he does. Yeah, he does the D'Lo one.
Okay.
D'Lo Brown, RVD. There's some more.
Yeah, there you go. So
Um,
I don't understand where Conan's coming from there.
well, so he said this, and then Miro, he said, I bet that Conan guy or whatever his name is couldn't last 10 minutes with Takeshita, or 10 seconds. And then Conan pretty much backtracked and said he was just joking. And he said in his little thing of backtracking, he's like, "Oh, you didn't listen to the show, and you just take everything out of context. You don't get the full story." Now, where am I going with that? Because when I just said part of what I was thinking when that story came out was like, well, you don't understand the internet. You could say anything, someone clips it, and then you're out of context, and then that just happened to me.
Oh well, they don't even have to do that nowadays. They can just make you say whatever they want you to say. You see them voice altering shit.
Oh, the deep fakes?
Yeah, there's a video
Yeah, I was
saying
gonna.
of Biden saying that women that transgender men aren't real women. They'll never be women. Blah 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 blah. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, I was gonna do a. I don't know. I was thinking about doing Morgan Freeman like as our show open.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah, that'd be neat.
like, let me script something and then do the AI thing, and then it sounds like Morgan Freeman does our show open.
I wouldn't be opposed to Morgan Freeman. Either that or Steven Seagal.
Well,
It would be
I
more
was thinking of like a. Go
it would
ahead.
be more believable if we use Steven Seagal.
Well, Morgan Freeman just has that voice.
Right, but Steven Seagal needs the money.
Oh, uh, can't help him there. Um, anyway, so after that Brock Lesnar Bray Wyatt thing, we go to a commercial that I want to talk about.
Okay,
I don't know if you saw it, but Seth. So they're pumping up WrestleMania.
this is the Joker commercial.
Yes,
Yeah, I fucking hated it.
I thought it was awesome. Seth Rollins was like a perfect rendition of the Joker,
No, he
and
wasn't,
then you
because
have
then he laughed. He did a stupid Seth Rollins laugh. He was Seth Rollins in face paint. And then you have Becky Lynch coming, oh, I'm going to talk like this because that's what they did in a movie.
yeah, and then
I'm going to go to
he's
my,
like,
I'm going to go to my man cave. Oh, she is the man. Fuck it. Fuck the everything about it.
no, you missed parts, and
What did I
it's
miss?
important parts.
What important
Okay,
parts that?
so you have Seth Rollins. He has the face paint on. Becky Lynch. So it's Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. It's not the Joker and the Batman. And she's like, Why do you have that on your face? He said,
But
it's exfoliating.
Becky Lynch is clearly trying to be Batman.
Yeah, but without saying it. But she's
Yeah,
like,
she
why do
went
you
to
got
her
that on your
man
face?
cave.
Why do you got that on your face? It's exfoliating. That's what he says. And then she says, I'm going to the man cave. And Seth Rollins said, I didn't know we had a man cave. And she's like, of course you don't, because I'm the man. And puts her glasses on. And then he looks at the camera. She is the man. It was awesome. You want to talk about this is awesome chant? That should have got the this is awesome chant.
Should have got somebody fired.
Why don't I know about the man cave? Because I'm the man.
God, fuck Becky Lynch. Fuck everything about her. Seth Rollins too. It's a fucking stupid commercial. First of all, when was the Joker? Isn't that's done and dead already? Way to be 2 years late, WWE. 3 years
What are you
late.
talking about? It's coming. They got the new one coming out.
Oh, is there a new one?
Well, it's not. Yeah.
So you're saying I'm late?
Well, that was Joker one that they were doing, but
Of course.
there is a
Yeah, there
second
you
one
go.
coming out, so it's
So
still timely.
it's not timely because they're using the first one.
I mean, they said they're reacting old commercial or promos or whatever they are, trailers.
And Batman wasn't even in that Joker. So it made absolutely no. And he was trying to be. He was trying to. He was trying to be Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. He was trying to be Heath Ledger's Joker at this. Fuck him. Fuck everything about this fucking commercial. Why the fuck did you bring it up?
Cause it was awesome.
It was stupid.
The for the one line.
I'm the
I didn't
man.
know we had. I didn't know we had a man cave. Of course you don't, cause I'm the man. You don't know how hard I was laughing at that. It was uncomfortable how hard I laughed at that. I said, "Who am I? Why is this so funny to me?"
I don't
And
know.
I knew you were gonna hate it because I knew you were gonna hate it because she called herself the man.
It's not even that. It's the way she said it and the way she was trying to do the. I didn't like it when
And put her
Christian Bale
glasses
did
on.
the stupid Batman growl, let alone when people fucking impersonate it poorly. And then you have Seth Rollins doing two Jokers. And,
Oh, you've been really controversial criticizing Christian Bale as Batman.
no, fuck Christian Bale's Batman. He was the worst Batman.
Oh boy, don't do that.
Nope, fuck Christian Bale's Batman. It was the worst Batman. I would take Val Kilmer and George Clooney's Batman over Christian Bale any day.
Mm.
He sucked. Worst Batman ever. Anything else? And then you got Becky Lynch, worst worst female wrestler ever. Trying trying to impersonate the worst Batman ever. It's just awful. And then you got Seth Rollins impersonating one of the worst Jokers ever.
Not the Heath Ledger one.
No, of course not. I'm not. No,
Okay.
I'm not that much of a contrarian. I can see reason sometimes.
Okay.
No,
Just making sure.
I thought the Joaquin Phoenix Joker was so fucking overrated.
Mm, I mean, it was kind of a boring movie.
Yeah, you took a psychopath that was interesting and unpredictable, and then you just made him have daddy issues. And it's just, I don't know. And he wanted to suck Robert De Niro's dick throughout the whole movie.
Boy, it needed to get on TV.
Yeah, not. I thought it was overrated. But anyway,
But yeah, so we go to another Ariel Hawani segment right after that promo. Ariel Hawani pretty much pumps up being in Montreal, talking about the last time they were there. There was the screw job,
now you said Ariel
and
Hawani was in the news recently, right? Sort of.
yes, so well, he wasn't in the news,
Okay.
but so Ariel Hawani he showed up on SmackDown yesterday because they were in Montreal, and he showed up in the crowd. Thought nothing of it. Is like, oh, whatever. He's there. He's pumping up. He's pumping up, getting ready for Elimination Chamber, trying to make it bigger than it is. Everybody saw the segment, thought nothing of it. Now, me personally, I go on Twitter afterwards, and I see a tweet, and the tweet is from Tony Khan, that being the the top guy over at AEW. And Tony Khan, the CEO of AEW, mind you, Tony Khan, he tweets at Ariel Hawani after the segment, "You're a fraud." um, you're as credible as a reporter as Tony Schiavone. Now this calls back to a few months ago.
Well, real quick, what was the segment? You said there was a segment on SmackDown. What was the segment?
The exact same thing. He was in the crowd with the microphone saying the people were excited for Elimination Chamber,
Okay. So
and the Montreal
is that
hasn't
literally
seen.
all he said was that the crowd's excited?
Yeah, he didn't say
Okay.
really anything. He's just being a hype man in the crowd.
Gotcha. So then Tony Khan, like a petty little bitch, decided to peel scabs off of an old wound.
Yes,
Okay.
because yes, it goes back to when Tony Khan was on Ariel Hawani's show,
When he agreed to an
and
interview and then didn't ask us or answer a single fucking question.
yes,
Yeah.
and
Fuck Tony Khan. He's a fucking
and
egotistical son of a bitch. You know what? This motherfucker had a golden key. As soon as Vince McMahon was resigned from his sexual, his issues, Tony Khan had a golden egg to fucking pull ahead from WWE because they allegedly had the talent and they didn't do shit. And then they have one of the quote unquote greatest generational talents in MJF. He won the title. They haven't done shit with him. Every match he's been in since has been boring. They got Action Andretti as one of their more compelling storylines. Mark Briscoe's over, and that's just because of the J thing. It just he needs to fucking figure out how to book. Calling him a booker or a president or any sort of creative genius is laughable. That's like calling Tony Schiavone a journalist.
he's the CEO.
He sucks.
But and they're also in the running to buy WWE apparently,
I,
or they want to be in the running. I don't know if they are in the running, but they want to be.
I don't think they'd listen to him.
I mean,
There's no way in
if they
hell
brought
that
in a
there's no way in hell that Vince McMahon will work for Tony Khan. No way.
oh, he wouldn't. They'd fire him. But if they brought enough money to the table, if they're, because so Vince McMahon apparently they want like, excuse me, they want 9 billion. That's his selling price for WWE, 9 billion.
Okay.
So if Tony Khan and his dad, of course, because he needs his dad,
Of
if
course.
they say, hey, we'll give you 12 billion, you want 9 billion, we'll give you 12 billion. Maybe, maybe they don't listen. Maybe Vince McMahon says no. But it's not just him. Now you got shareholders like, wait a minute, why are we not taking $12 billion? Like they're paying you, you know, $3 million over what you're asking for. Why are we not taking this? Or 3 billion? What's going on here?
Well,
You really have the best interests
Vince
for
is the
us?
largest shareholder.
I know, but there's still shareholders.
So I mean, if he turns down a would you say $12 million? If he turns down,
Billion.
oh, okay. Dr. Evil did. If he turns down $12 billion, that's also $12 billion in his pocket too.
Right, to be petty.
I don't even think it would be petty. Just out more for Tony Khan.
It's like one of those moments where
What is
I don't know
what?
if it's happened to you, but like your spouse, they tell you something, like, oh, they were gonna offer me $5,000, but I told them no. I didn't want it because I didn't want the job. It's like, wait, what? You turned down what? You didn't think we should talk about that? No, I didn't want the job. Well, I mean, that's that's a pretty good advance. Maybe I mean at least worth the talking about before you said no.
Well, if he doesn't think his company is going to be in good hands, I don't see why Vince would want to sell it. I mean, look what Tony's done with Ring of Honor.
Well, I'm not advocating that they should buy.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is if they make a ridiculous offer that's way over what they're asking, then better yet, if someone you see in the movies where like someone sees a house and then they're like, "I'll give you $1 million to move out of this house right now so I can move in." Nah, but the house is valued at like $100,000, and you're shooting down $1 million because you don't want to move.
Eh.
And now you're not just affecting you; you're affecting your neighbors because it's $1 million. Someone pays $1 million. Now it's $1 million neighborhood property value.
Yeah, but if you have the biggest house on the block, or your house gets the brunt of all the decisions that are made.
Well, I guess.
I don't know. I just think Tony's a little bitch. He needs to fucking worry about putting on a good wrestling product, and less about what some journalist who he refused to ask or answer questions for does on his free time. He's not even in this. He's not even in the same country he's in. And he's fucking tweeting about it. Fuck him.
Well, he felt betrayed, and then now you have people that are
Betrayed
like,
how? He agreed to an interview. Every question that Ariel Helwani asked that wasn't prepping or promoting Dynamite or Rampage, he fucking wouldn't answer because he wanted to be a little snotty, pretentious little whore. Fuck him.
I'm saying he felt. I'm not justifying it. I'm just telling you what it is.
Well, then he's stupid.
Like you, you thinking I'm defending this? I'm just giving you information.
Well, I'm telling
I'm
you,
not defending any of it.
he's a dum dum.
I know, but I'm not defending any of it.
This is
I
what
don't have an
happens.
opposite
This is what
opposite
happens when you
opinion
grow up
here.
rich and your rich daddy coddles you. You don't have any fucking thick skin. You don't understand business. That's why every conference call he has to talk about his fucking feelings and his personal life and all that bullshit. Fuck him.
I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about there, but
He had remember when William Regal left and he had that conference call? Did you listen to any of that?
we talked about his parents, or his
He's like,
mom.
"Oh, my mom was sick." Blah 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 blah. He went on his personal a wrestling call, a business call. He's supposed to be informing his shareholders the state of of the company, and he wants to talk about sitting in the hospital and some irrelevant shit.
Well, he knew. Obviously, he knew that those questions were going to come, so he addressed it before it even, like before he even asked. Like, because William Regal had just left like the week before, so
Right, right.
obviously people were going to ask about it. It's like before he even asked, let me tell you, and then we can move on. Like
Well, no,
he
no, no,
can't
no, no,
just,
no.
oh, I'm not going to comment on that. Then
He
he's back where whatever he's complaining about. Oh, I'm not going to talk about that. Let's just talk about how great my company is.
no. He was talking about how his mom was sick and how he was sitting in the hospital and then how William Regal visited him in the hospital, and he could have just kept it with to William Regal, but no, he wanted to give the sob story about his mom.
That was a media call or a media thing.
That's even worse. No,
It wasn't a.
not one fucking person there was interested in his mom.
Well,
Not one
they
person
needed.
asked about that. Not one person invited that train of thought. He voluntarily went into this soliloquy about his sick mom. And it sucks that his mom was sick. I don't know. I don't know what happened to her, or if she's still around, or what. And I hope she is still around. That's not my thing. But for him to just bring it up out of the blue because he wants little sympathy points because he fucked up, he mismanaged. He mismanaged his personnel, and he wanted little sympathy points, and he wants to be treated with kid gloves. He wants to control the situation on the questions that he's asked. He thinks he's Vince McMahon. He thinks he's a fucking big player. He's not.
Well, he is.
No, he's not. He's a fucking rich kid that whose dad bought him a toy.
I mean, there's still. You can't take that money away. Like you can't. You know. Never mind. I don't want to go into that.
The
Well, I'm gonna
re-
get into it a little bit. Donald Trump. he started. He started to build his empire off of like a couple $1 million that his dad gave him,
right.
and I'm sure if he failed, he could have went back to his dad and said, "Hey, can I try again?" So that just because you start with the advantage doesn't mean anything,
Well,
or just because you have it, like you have an advantage.
eventually,
Okay, well,
Daddy's gonna run the well dry. He's gonna say, you know what, son, you've been paying Soraya millions of dollars, and she ain't doing shit. It's about time we just pack it up. Maybe you can go back to collecting Hot Wheels.
well, a lot of people will be out of work, and they'll be over in
And
Impact.
that's okay. It's okay if the Young Bucks are out of work. It's okay if we don't see Darby Allen or Danhausen. I'm okay with that. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Okay, for you or them.
All of us. It's for the greater good.
Hmm. So next up, we got Edge and
Oh
Beth Phoenix versus Judgment Day,
man.
and I thought that this was going to be the down match, at least. Yeah, just because of how hot this show had started, and the crowd was um, behind everything. I thought that this was going to be like that moment where it's just going to be the down match. Everybody go take a break, or gear up for the main event. But it turned out to be a pretty fun match. Um, the crowd really didn't like Dom. There's a lot of "fuck you, Dom" chants. Dominic. There was a point where he was chased out of the ringside, and as he was out of the ringside through the curtain, the crowd's chanting "na na na na," "hey hey hey, goodbye," and or they're I'm sorry, they're singing it, and then out out comes Dominic again. Um, I can imagine what happened was they were so hot as far as giving him heat. I can imagine he was initially scripted to that to be the end of the night, him go through the curtain, but he probably went through the curtain and Triple H was like,
Get your ass
because he
back
heard
out there.
the yeah, because he heard the chanting, he's like, get out, get back out there. you getting you're getting major heat. You got to get back out there.
They haven't said enough disgusting things to you yet.
Yeah. So he goes back out there. So then they start chanting "Fuck you, Dom" again. Um, Beth Phoenix and Rhea Ripley did the majority of this match,
Of course they did.
and because it's Beth Phoenix versus Rhea Ripley. The end of the match saw two educators, one by Rhea, I'm sorry, one by Edge, one by Beth, um, doing it on each respective person. And Dominic gets up on the ring apron. He's distracting the ref. He throws brass knuckles. I'm sorry, this wasn't the end. This was a botch that I needed to point out. He throws brass knuckles into the ring. After the submissions are off, Rhea Ripley gets the brass knuckles, and she hits Edge in the back of the head with the brass knucks. Edge is down for the count, and there was a botch here because Beth Phoenix was supposed to break the count up. Beth Phoenix was out of place, so she didn't get there in time. So Edge, because they were supposed to win the match, had to kick out. So he kicked out of a brass knuckle shot.
I mean, he did get
Just,
only he only got hit by Rhea Ripley, so it's not that unbelievable.
okay. And then as we moved on in the match, oh, I didn't write down how it finished. I wrote down the botch. Oh, it finished with Edge and Beth hitting a shatter machine, aka Big Rig. So I'm sure everybody's gonna blow that out of proportion. So expect by tomorrow. So to fill you in, that's FTR's finisher move that they won with.
Are you filling me in?
Yeah.
I know who FTR is.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they used that finisher to win. So I'm sure by tomorrow we're gonna hear a lot of FTR's teasing going back to WWE. Like, oh, especially with this week. There was this thing that happened with Dax Harwood. So he tweeted a picture. He just, you know, tweeted a picture. I'm sorry, no, this was on Instagram. He 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 had his nice new bottle of tequila. He takes a picture of it and he's like, "Oh, I'm about to sit down and enjoy this bottle of tequila." You would think nothing to that, right? Well, there was a piece of paper on his desk, and it caught in the camera, and you saw a little logo at the top of it, and it was like you could tell it was a WWE logo, even though there was like the smallest little corner of it, because it was like the red check thing and then the black W.
Right.
So you could tell it was like a WWE logo. So that got the internet talking already. Oh, he has this WWE contract on his desk. I don't know why they would have like their logo on top of a contract, but that's
Why
here nor
wouldn't
there.
they? If it's a WWE contract, why wouldn't they have the WWE logo?
I don't know. You gotta have an over the top logo on a contract.
It's the
Like, why wouldn't you
WWE.
just? I know, but why wouldn't you just put like I don't know. But okay, maybe it is. But yeah, that's what the internet made the connection of. Oh, that's a contract he's got on his desk, or at least something. What I think it is, honestly, is I don't know, someone probably Triple H sent him that bottle of tequila, and then you have a nice note with the WWE logo on it or something.
Probably.
And that's what it was, but it got blown out of proportion. And now you have Edge and Beth Phoenix doing the Shatter Machine, so and they even called it the Shatter Machine on commentary. So that's gonna blow it up even more. So yeah, just know if you see that through the week, that's why.
Well, if FTR comes to feud with fucking Judgment Day, ugh.
Well, not that they're coming to feud with Judgment Day, it's just that they're coming back to WWE because their contract, they're at the end of their contract
Right.
soon. So
I
it's
thought
like a
they were already
question of
gone.
are they're
Because
off
they.
TV, but they're not gone.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so now it's a question of, and even them saying we don't know if we're gonna go back to WWE, stay in AEW,
Take a
just be
year off.
free agents. Yeah. So you got now people are reaching. If they did go back to WWE, because they did say this is like their last run. So if they did go back to WWE, I wouldn't even. I would think it makes sense. This is their last run. They've done like the Cody route. They left, they made themselves such a big name, and then now they come back to WWE. The only problem is, you know, other than the Usos, they don't really have a tag team that they could, you know, like after the Uso match, what do you have left? Hit
Owens and
Row?
Zayn.
Oh, okay. Way to ruin it.
The greatest tag
Oh,
team.
actually, you didn't ruin it. You made my point.
How's that?
Thank you.
How did I make your point?
Because I said, if they go back to WWE after the Usos, who do they really have left? And you said Owens and Zayn, which is not really a tag team. So you proved my point that
They
if they
they
go back
will
to
be when they
WWE,
beat the
there's not really
Usos.
okay. Yeah, they're gonna go on a 524-day reign as
Yep.
champion.
They're gonna be the
You're gonna
greatest
keep
tag team champions ever.
you're gonna keep Kevin Owens out of the main event scene that long?
I hope so.
Okay.
Hey, he had what, 2, 3 matches with Roman a couple years ago, and then he just got his ass whooped by Roman and got super kicked the shit out of. Yeah, keep him out of the main event for a while.
Well, it's not gonna be Roman too much longer, so now we're talking about Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is gonna need opponents. I mean, he's just gonna have Seth Rollins. Oh, we're gonna have 8 months of Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, but he's not winning at Mania.
We'll see.
But he will win. He will win the titles, just not at Mania.
We'll see.
Uh,
I recollect challenging you to a bet.
and I'm gonna take it up. I'm just figuring out what we're
Um.
gonna have,
Okay.
figuring it out.
Okay.
Now I see on your side you didn't really write anything for this match.
Oh, I
I
didn't watch it.
believe you didn't watch it.
I didn't watch a second of it. Fuck, fuck
So,
Rhea Ripley. Fuck Beth Phoenix. Fuck Edge and Finn Balor for participating in this match. I did see the stupid little double power bomb that was retarded. Um, I heard the chat. I heard the crowd chanting at Dominique, but yeah, I didn't really pay attention.
okay. And then we move on to the next thing match, which would be the men's elimination chamber match.
Can I just say how dumb it is to have an elimination chamber match for the United States title?
Yeah, I questioned that the first when they announced it.
Yeah, like if I was, if I was a participant in this match, I would withdraw because they defend it like every Monday.
Yeah, they even have an open challenge coming up this Monday,
It's
to which Edge is going to accept it.
well, there you go.
So, um, I would have. I was thinking about it, and honestly, I would have rather it been for the Intercontinental title, and you put Gunther in there against you know, five other dudes.
I would have
Um,
I would have rather just seen a women's elimination chamber match, and then they do something different for the dudes. Because the elimination chamber match should either be for a title or for an opportunity for a title. To have a match with this big of a stake for the U.S. title, I don't know. It'd be one
it
thing
did
if
seem,
it was a prestigious title.
yeah, if they did it for the Intercontinental title, which
Well,
been built up as pretty prestigious.
if they did it for the Intercontinental title like 20 years ago.
Well, I'm saying, okay. Um, so we have Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford. And those are your participants. Uh,
Johnny Gargano was the Nikki Cross of this match. And Montez Ford
meaning
was the
what?
Liv Morgan.
Meaning what?
Um, Johnny Gargano was just there, and Montez Ford was overacting. He was just totally overdoing everything. Like he would do little suck it signs in between his moves. Like I don't know, you're wrestling for a title. There's five other people around you. And you got time to do suck it gestures in between a drop kick.
You know, and a violent one at that. That was a violent cross chop.
Yeah,
Could you imagine if he
he's
caught
just,
one of his balls?
he's just really jerky and I don't know. He's weird.
Well, so I did a prediction on this. I thought Bronson Reed was going to win because I didn't think Theory was going to keep the title just because of the John Cena connection.
Okay.
But I guess, I mean, if maybe the match doesn't happen because we haven't heard anything yet,
Right.
you would think, with John Cena, but maybe they're just still getting to it and they wanted to get through the Elimination Chamber and then now they talk about it or now they announce it or at least announce that Cena's going to be at WrestleMania something. But
Well, the only thing I was sure of is that Gargano and Ford were not going to win. Everybody else was kind of up in the air for me.
I could have actually saw. So I said Bronson Reed was going to win because I didn't see him taking a pin
Right.
since he just came back
Right.
and he's been built pretty dominant.
Of course.
Um, but I could have seen Montez Ford winning, just because that would have given a storyline. Because Montez Ford wins, Angelo Dawkins, his partners, like congratulating him or something, and then turns on him, and then you build this story. You know, I'm not the Genetti or whatever.
Well, I
Like,
mean, there's a story if all of them win.
yeah. Well, I'm saying that particular story. So I could have seen them when go with Montez Ford to create that story and then split the street profits. Um, Johnny Gargano, he wasn't even on Raw, so you knew he wasn't winning. And Damian Priest, he's with Judgment Day. I don't think he was. I didn't think he was gonna win.
But can you imagine him winning and then all of a sudden, like, he's the only one in the Judgment Day with a title? So, he starts assuming more of a leadership role, and then Balor kind of takes issue with that.
Yeah, so that could have been another story. But They kept it on Austin Theory,
They did. Well, Reed
and how
was
we got there.
yeah.
Mhm.
Reed was the first one eliminated, which was surprising.
Yeah, they did the whole
Everybody
hit you with
secretly
every
kicked him.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit you with every move in the by every person. So he got a stomp, he got a one final beat, and then he got the frog splash.
Right. So, although it only took one of them to pin him,
Yeah.
so he's not quite as strong as Raquel Rodriguez.
Well, I mean, look at the size of her back. There, I did think though Johnny Gargano had a good showing for him. Like
I guess.
he got, I think he showed people a glimpse of what we know of him in NXT is that he can go. Um, so maybe this is like a turn to make him not a comedy joke with Dexter Loomis, but I don't know. Maybe the damage has already been too much done,
Yeah, the
like too
damage is
far
done.
gone.
He,
Like, you're too far down to be able to come back from this.
I like the exchange he had with Rollins on top of the pod, where they were just kind of sitting there, and then they just started fighting.
Yeah, that was fun.
But Gargano is the second one to be eliminated. He's eliminated by Priest via Razor's Edge. And then Priest was eliminated. He got blockbustered by Montez Ford.
Yep, and then we're down to our final three.
Yep, and Ford got curb stomped onto the black stuff, which I don't know, curb stomping the black guy probably not a good look.
On not even in the ring, on the hard part,
Right.
like on the concrete. I put it in quotes.
He had a spot where he climbed on the cage and then just fell on everybody. I thought that was really dumb. It was one of those things where everybody just they stood there and watched.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. It took him forever to get in position because, he climbed up and then he had to arm climb up because, his legs weren't on the cage anymore.
Right.
And then he had to do the monkey bar flip upside down thing.
Yeah, this is
So
it's dumb.
I was like, what is he? What are we doing right now? And then, they're showing the crowd's chanting, "Holy shit!" Everybody's going crazy, and they're showing the replay, and you got the guys down there holding each other forever while he's doing all this climbing.
Right. It just it looked really phony and
And then when he was upside down, he had to make sure he was gonna fall safe, so he was
right.
like upside down looking to make sure his spot was right.
Which that's the worst part is when they look. I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
just
some
jump.
I'm gonna do something crazy, but I gotta make sure everybody's in position.
Yeah,
Now the power bomb that Rollins did Gargano off the pod was great. That
they
was like,
didn't look. Now you can tell
or no,
Rollins was feeling now.
that wasn't a power bomb. That was a Frankensteiner.
Yeah, it was a power bomb into a Frankensteiner,
Right. That was great.
and yeah, they didn't look, and that was a crazy moment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, with that curb stomp, Montez Ford was eliminated. Um,
And then he gets the most over dramatic exit I've ever seen in an Elimination Chamber match.
well, okay, so he gets the curb stomp, he's eliminated, and
And he's
as the
just
mat,
laying there.
and then yeah, and then the refs, extra refs and paramedics, they run into the ring because apparently he took the stomp too hard on the outside
He
and he
got
was
curb
injured.
stomped.
I thought he was really injured. but I was like, oh, maybe he didn't get, maybe he really hit his head or something. Because I wasn't watching that close. But then when they saw the replay, I said, no, he got his hands up. He's not, he's not injured. And I was like, oh, here comes someone. So yeah, the paramedics are in the ring.
He's not a good actor.
They're checking on him. Oh, and then I didn't know if it was his head or his leg. I'm like, what is even injured? So he's limping but he's got one leg up like like his leg is injured,
He was
but
trying
it's
to
just the curb
stagger.
stomp. Oh,
He was just really bad at it. That's what I'm
so
saying.
they,
Like, there's no, there's no doubt in my mind that this was a work or part of the show.
yeah. So as they're taking him out the elimination chamber, now remember he's already eliminated, but the door's open so they can get him out because the paramedics are there. They had to get in. Yada yada yada. Before they can close the door, in comes Logan Paul, and
He hits
he
hits Rollins with a buckshot lariat and then a curb stomp. And then Theory hits an A-Town down for the win.
yes. So we have
Well,
officially 100% solidified our Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul match at WrestleMania.
and I'm glad that that's the match because I won't be upset about skipping over Seth Rollins match.
Oh, that's good.
I saw his
But
match
that's
again.
a I did I did. Oh, go ahead.
I saw his match against Roman Reigns. That's all I need.
Okay. So I wrote down that we did all this elimination chamber, all the qualifying matches. We did all that just to get to another Seth Rollins versus Austin Theory one-on-one for the title. All that just to mask another match between them two.
Well, I'm more upset at the fact that Austin Theory has yet to have a decisive victory since he's been champion. It's always been like
Oh,
a fluke or he just lucks out. He's been just a piss poor champion up to this point. And he doesn't seem to be able to get to defend it one on one. I think he's only done it once.
well, maybe that'll change now that he's not. I say this, but maybe it'll. They're probably gonna do it anyway. Now that he's not doing a Rollins and Bobby Lashley match, maybe now he can get an actual victory because those are the two that he can actually, or the next person he can actually beat clean.
I guess.
But we move on then to our main event. Roman Reigns at now 902 days, 98 days away from being champion for 1,000 days versus Sami Zayn. Um, I wrote down some timestamps here that I want to go over.
Okay.
So Roman Reigns, the entrance starts at 9:25. The entrance finishes at 9:30.
Okay.
So he got a 5 minute entrance. And then out comes Sami Zayn. His entrance was 4 minutes. 9:30 to 9:34.
So we're about 10 minutes so far?
Yes.
Okay.
They haven't done anything.
Okay.
From that point, from 9:34 to 9:40, they stood in the ring and the crowd chanted. So, yeah, the crowd chanted. They went through the whole gambit of chants. They were chanting "Fuck you, Roman." They were just simply booing Roman. "Let's go, Sammy." Whatever chant you can think of. Um,
They didn't do a CM Punk chant.
well, no one. Yeah, those are gone now.
That would have been funny though.
I did. I don't know if you caught it too, but so before Sami Zayn came out, and they're just uh oh, important thing to note here: Roman Reigns came out first.
Yeah, he used his
And I know
champion's
why.
privilege.
Well, I know why they did it because they wanted the champion, the pop for Sami Zayn, and B, they wanted the moment where Roman Reigns is getting there, getting booze. So it made sense why they did it.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't like when they do that.
so yeah, Roman Reigns is in the ring. He's waiting for Sammy, and you got the hard camera on him, and he says, "They're all they're disrespecting me, but I'm about to show them. I'm about to show all of them." so he's so he's talking to the crowd there, but he's not yelling at the crowd. He's just talking
Right.
to the camera about the crowd. I'm about to show all of them. Thought that was a great little touch.
He does that all the time though.
Yeah, when the Roman Reigns off mic doesn't miss. Like during the match, he's talking to Sammy's wife. He's like, I was trying to provide for you guys.
Yeah. For the longest time, I thought that was Sammy's mom.
Oh,
So,
well, I mean, Sami Zayn's not getting any Scarlets.
and then they smooched, and then like, huh, they must do things a little weird in Montreal.
Man, he pulled her in too. Like he didn't
Yeah.
go. He like really get over here.
Ugh.
he like he like really grabbed her, took control. He was a man. He was gonna anyway. um,
So yeah, you're right. It took forever to start.
yeah, it did take forever to start, but I was okay with it because it was a moment.
I wasn't
It
because it
reminded
was
me.
all they did was fucking cheer, and then they'd look at each other, and then they cheer some more, and then they'd look around, and then they cheer some more, then they look at each other, and then they cheer some more, and then they look around. It's fucking get to it. God damn.
Well, there was two moments that reminded me of this. One was Rod Van Dam versus John Cena at One Night Stand. I remember that was one that was like that hostile. The other one was the Icon versus Icon, The Rock versus Hogan, and the pop that was there before. And
Mm.
they were doing the same thing, looking around. The crowd's just going crazy. I got goosebumps when Hogan started hulking up after so long, but that was in the match. He gets hit with the people's elbow, and then he starts hulking up. And it's like, oh my god, I thought I'd never see that again. um, but yeah, it just reminded me of that. It's just like one of those special moments where the crowd is just crazy.
They were
But
crazy.
we finally get into the actual match. And the match, it started out pretty Roman Reigns esque. He's dominating the match. He's taking the crowd completely out of it. He's talking shit to Sammy's wife. um,
Or mom, depending on who you ask.
yeah, no one was, the crowd was just like, just deflated. And then all of a sudden, Sami Zayn catches Roman with a clothesline, turns the momentum around. The crowd starts getting back into it. Um, there was a moment where Sami Zayn capped caught Roman Reigns. I'm sorry, Roman Reigns was going for a Superman punch. Sami Zayn caught him, did an exploder suplex into the corner. We get a tease of him hitting the haluva kick, but he didn't. Roman Reigns then got him with the Superman punch. There was a bunch of false finishes in between then.
My God, there was a
Um,
bunch of false finishes.
there was one where he actually did hit the haluva kick. I knew the crowd was going to go crazy, and they did. Um, that was the nearest fall of the match. All of a sudden, I forgot how we got here, but all of a sudden, we find ourselves in the corner, and the referee is behind Sami Zayn, and Roman Reigns throws a back elbow, hits the referee. Now the referee's knocked out. Because, it's a Roman match. We've got to get the ref knocked out somehow.
Right.
So the ref's knocked out. That's ref number one.
Well,
And
he's pushed into the corner, and then Sammy is pushed into the corner on top of him. Roman Reigns is elbowing Sammy, but the force of those elbows are transferring through Sammy into the referee. So the referee is incapacitated throughout the rest of the match.
well, it looked like one of the elbows caught the ref.
Oh, to me it looked like he was elbowing Sammy, and the guy was like, ah.
Yeah, I thought one of them caught him, but I
Okay,
don't know.
doesn't matter.
So yeah, the ref goes down. Out comes Jimmy Uso, the one who's not allowed in Canada, but he's in Canada. Probably stuck him in through the luggage, and he super kicks Sami Zayn, and that leads. Now, here's the thing: he super kicks Sami Zayn, and then he goes up and does the Uso splash. And my problem with this little segment is he hits the Uso splash. Not 2 seconds after he hits it and rolls out of the ring is another ref. Is you telling me the ref coming to the ring didn't just see that? Like it was 2 seconds ago, and you're saying you didn't see that?
Right.
Like the ref got to the ring way too fast. That's all I'm saying. Like, okay, if you're the when they do the thing where the ref runs from the back, like okay, now you can believe that he didn't see it. But this ref was in the ring like 2 seconds after the splash, so there's no way he didn't see it. That led to another close near fall. Sami Zayn kicked out. Fast forwarding a little bit, the ref gets knocked out again. Now out comes Jey Uso.
Who just
Jey
stands there?
Uso. Yeah. So Roman Reigns is about to hit Sami Zayn with the chair. Jey Uso comes in the ring and he stands in between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Pretty much they replay the the scenario from the Royal Rumble, except it's Sami Zayn and Jey Uso instead of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. So Roman hands Jey Uso the chair and tells him to hit Sami Zayn. Jey hesitates. Again, it's the exact same scenario that was at the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns is talking shit to Sami Zayn. Um, Jey Uso's looking at Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is like, "Why aren't you doing it?" And then he pie faces Jey Uso. before we get Before that gets elaborated on, Sami Zayn he runs and gets a spear, or he tries to spear Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns moves, so he puts the spear on Jey Uso, and then Roman Reigns wins off of a
His spear.
spear. Yeah, and that's how the match ended.
And then Owens comes out and stuns everybody.
Everybody.
Sammy hell of a kicks
except for Sammy.
right, and Sammy hell of a kicks Roman, and yeah, then they go off air.
Go off the air with the crowd happy
Yes,
because the hometown heroes um, were triumphant and standing tall at the end of the night. Now, one thing what you should have noticed there was number one, Sammy. Uh, so after the spear, we didn't, nothing, no follow up from Jey Uso. So was he mad at Sammy? You know,
right.
and then when Kevin Owens is out stunning everybody, he even stunned Paul Heyman, but there was no Jey Uso.
No,
Like he was still down from that spear. I don't know. He might still be down.
it was just really weird. He comes out and he just stands there. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't do anything. And yeah, then they just reenact the scene from Royal Rumble, and then you never see him again after Sammy spears him. After little tiny Sammy spears Jey Uso.
Yeah, he was down way long. Um, and then at the end of the night, you have Kevin Owens. Him and Sami Zayn are staring each other down. They didn't say anything to each other. They just looked at each other. Kevin Owens rolled out of the ring
Mouth breathing.
and walked up the ramp. And we have Sami Zayn standing on his own in the ring. And the crowd goes wild because Sami Zayn is in the ring by himself.
Yeah.
And that was your elimination chamber.
Boy, was it disappointing.
You didn't like it?
No, I thought
I thought every. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You didn't. I liked it. You didn't like it. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, I thought
Give it to me.
the main event was overbooked. What it should have been was Roman Reigns just beating the piss out of Sami Zayn. For Sami Zayn to have any believable shot against Roman's laughable. The after the just before the second ref bump when Sammy kicks out of like the third or second spear, that's when I just like, okay, now it's just getting retarded, because that's all it was. They were just kicking out of each other's finishers, and more people came out, and Jimmy came out to do something, Jay came out to do nothing, Paul Heyman was there. There was a part where just before he got stunned, he said, "Oh, I always wanted to be with you. I never wanted to be with Roman." And yeah, I don't know. It seems like that they were trying to build up for this. I don't know. Just like a big letdown. And I don't know why Sammy kissed his mom. I've never kissed my mom like that.
Mm. That's because it was his wife.
Oh.
That's the kids that were there with him.
Oh, I thought that was his brothers and sisters.
The little kids?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's his wife.
Oh.
Again, he's not getting Charlotte. What? What? Charlotte? He's not getting. He's not getting Scarlet or anything. You think Sammy's pulling those kind of numbers? Come on, he's got to. He's still got to be in the game. But he's not Brock Lesnar. He's not pulling Sable. He could probably.
But
he could revisit that marriage thing now. Maybe he could. Maybe he could do a little better.
maybe.
Being a famous wrestler now.
I just know that Kevin Owens' significant other is, he won. I'll just say that.
Oh, I haven't seen her.
Especially considering he's just a big fat guy. And he needs to learn how to breathe through his nose for once.
Well, he's probably got a deviated septum. Is that
And
what
he
it's
needs to
called?
breathe through his nose. But
He's got, you Your your culture, you got those narrow noses.
Man,
It-
that's
it's hard
twice.
for a lot of you to.
That's twice. Why you gotta bring us up like that? Why you gotta demean us? You don't know the
It's hard
struggles
for a
that we
lot of you
have.
guys to breathe out of your noses.
You don't know the
I
struggles we've had
noticed.
with deviated septums.
Well, I was just saying, I noticed that a lot of you guys with those noses, those narrow noses, it's hard for a lot of you to breathe out of them.
See now, if I say a big nose joke, I get canceled. God, you see the double standard here?
Yeah, you can't give it back.
No, that's
I'll
bullshit.
give it back.
No, you'll get canceled too. You'll get me
Oh,
canceled by proxy. Oh, you
like
didn't.
oh,
You didn't stand up. You didn't stop him.
yeah,
So yeah, the women's elimination chamber match that should have been the only elimination chamber of the evening. I thought that was stupid to have the U.S. title for an elimination chamber. The Lashley Lesnar match that was just disappointing, and there's a lot of action, but the finish was dull. We don't care about Edge or Phoenix. The men's match was all right. I thought it was surprising that Theory held on to the title as well, but at least he gets to continue his run. And then yeah, we'll see what happens with Roman. I thought that they would move to Sammy and Jay like they should, but
well they did, or they
did
are.
they? Are they moving to Sammy and Jay, or is Jay now feuding with Roman?
It's almost as if it be. I don't know. Maybe they saw, okay, it's a little too predictable for Jay to turn on Sammy. So
Just do the
let's
same thing we did at the Royal Rumble?
yeah,
That's not
keep the
predictable at
people
all?
guess.
Okay.
Let's keep the people. Let's not give it away just yet. And we're still gonna get there, but let's wait a little bit on it.
All right.
I don't know. That's just my guess, but
All right. I guess we'll have to see what happens.
yeah. But overall, I did have fun with the pay-per-view, and we are now full blown on the road to WrestleMania. No more stops. No more pit stops, no more restroom breaks, nothing.
Nope.
Next stop is WrestleMania.
Should be
Well,
interesting at least.
I mean, you're gonna have Raw as bathroom breaks, I guess. But aside from that, yeah, we will see how WrestleMania goes. But of course, if you agree with anything, let us know in the comments. If you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments. Hit the like button. Hello to the new viewer. We're actually on our way out, but uh, until next time, top guys out.